welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well today. As you guys can tell by today's video title, today's video is super exciting because I actually feel like this might be one of the more important videos I've ever filmed on this channel. Only because I'm about to test out my wedding makeup for the very first time on my face. I literally have no idea what it's gonna turn out like. I have found some inspiration kind of photos on Instagram and Pinterest, but honestly, I don't know if it's gonna suit me. I figured I had to sit down at some point and try it on my actual face, and I thought, why not film it for you guys? I'm actually getting married in just under 2 months, and I know it's gonna come around so quickly, which is why I'm doing this now. I have so many wedding related videos coming your way, which I'm so excited about, but yeah, I'm gonna do my wedding makeup today. If you guys are new here and you guys haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Roxy, welcome to my channel. If you guys want to stick around, be sure to subscribe down below. But anyways, if you guys want to see what kind of products I'm gonna be using for my wedding day makeup, then without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, first things first, I've already moisturized my face with the Kiehl's moisturizer. I can't remember the name, but I'll pop it on screen. Honestly, I swear by this moisturizer. It doesn't break me out. It's very, very good for sensitive skin, so I'm just gonna stick with that. I feel like your wedding day makeup should just be all the products you love using and you can trust. There's definitely no room for like trying new things, so I'm just gonna be showing you guys some of my favorite products that I like to use on a day-to-day. So for my primer, I feel like primer is super important on your wedding day. I'm gonna be using this one right here. This is the Charlotte Tilbury one. SPF is really important to me. I've been wearing it on my face like every single day, even when the sun isn't out. So I'm just gonna rub that in. This is a really good primer as well. I really, really like it. It's very lightweight. All right, now moving on to the foundation. I definitely want my base to look flawless. I don't want any of my imperfections showing, but I still want it to look like my skin. I definitely don't want to have like a cakey face on my wedding day. As the years go by, I'm noticing that the more foundation I apply, it actually makes me look older because it's starting to crease. I'm starting to get fine lines. So I definitely want to keep it minimal. So I thought for my actual base, I'd be using the Sculpted by Amy Hydra Tint. This is amazing. It is literally such a good product, especially if you don't need high coverage all around your face. This is such an amazing product because it honestly just feels like a tinted moisturizer. It does have a really nice amount of coverage, but it's not like really fake looking. So I'm just going to apply that as like a sheen all over my face. Just a sheer layer of this will be enough to sort of cover up any redness or any discoloration on my face. I've also recently discovered this brush from Laura Mercier. It's kind of like a triangular brush, but it's so good for your foundation. So I'm just gonna blend that product with this. It has a really nice dewy kind of finish. It just really looks nice and healthy, so I've really been liking this. I actually feel like I can wear this every day and not even have to set it with a powder, which is amazing. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take the Laura Mercier foundation, but I'm not gonna apply this all over the face. I'm only gonna focus it onto the areas that are a bit more problematic. I'm gonna use this tiny little brush and literally just spot kind of conceal with this, and honestly, I've been really loving doing this technique. For me, when it comes to foundation, I definitely feel like less is more, so I definitely want to incorporate this technique into my wedding day. I just want my base to look lightweight. I want it to look natural, not cakey, so I feel like this is a really good idea. Also, this is a technique that like supermodels do, so people like Kendall Jenner, Gigi Hadid, they do this kind of technique. I'm just gonna let that foundation kind of sit on my skin and just get a little bit thicker before I actually blend it out. And whilst that's happening, I'm gonna take my concealer. This is the one called Clio. This is the Kill Cover Foundation Wear Concealer. This is such a nice concealer. You only need the tiniest amount, but it has really, really good coverage. So I'm gonna apply that under my eyes as well as on top of my lids, just to really tone down any redness or any purple underneath my eyes. And once again, I'm gonna take that same foundation brush and just literally pat that into the skin. All right, now that my concealer is all blended out, I'm gonna take my Huda Beauty powder. This one's in the shade Banana Bread, and I'm just gonna take that on a really small dome fluffy brush. I don't normally bake, but I'm just gonna apply a generous amount of that underneath and on top of my eyes. One thing I definitely want to say though is if you're doing bridal makeup and you're applying like a load of powder under your eyes, definitely don't skip out on your eye cream before you do your base. I always notice that when I do skip out on the eye cream, my eyes just look so crusty and dusty with the powder on. So I'm just gonna apply you know, just a sheer layer of this powder all over the face to really mattify and set down my base. We definitely want it to last all day long, especially through the sweat and tears. So yeah, definitely a good idea. Okay, so that's my finished concealer and foundation. I'm pretty happy with how that looks. I'm now gonna do a little bit of contouring, and you best believe for my wedding day, I just have to use my own makeup palette. My one is so dirty, as you can see, but it's very well loved. I've actually lost count how many of these palettes I've already gone through, but it's honestly my favorite go-to contour palette. I might be a little biased though, since I literally created this with Revolution. But anyways, we're gonna be reaching for this shade right here. This is like my go-to contour shade. I honestly love it so much. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pat that into my cheekbone. We don't wanna do any swiping motions because that's just literally gonna take off the foundation underneath. Doing the patting technique will just make it look so much more flawless, and you can still get that really seamless blend. By the way, I have no idea what to actually do with my hair, so maybe I could do a part 2 of like trying bridal hairstyles or something, because I'm definitely not gonna keep it like this, but I still don't know whether to have it up or down for my actual wedding day. Maybe you guys can help me decide. I'm gonna do a little bit of nose contour, just what I normally do on a day-to-day. A little bit under the tip, a little bit on the sides, and then I also like to give myself a little bit of like a button-shaped nose by just applying a little bit on the top of my tip. In case you guys haven't seen my previous video about like wedding decor and stuff like that, if you haven't seen that, I'll link it in the eye. But basically, some of you might not know that I'm actually getting married abroad. I think you guys probably deserve to know now that it's so close to the time. I'm actually going to be getting married in Switzerland, which is so exciting. It's one of my favorite places I've ever been with my fiance, and it just made so much sense to get married there. There's a few challenges to overcome with like the logistics, because we're actually having our family come out there as well. But I know it's going to be the wedding and the family holiday of a lifetime, so I'm so excited about it. We probably will be vlogging it, like the actual trip, so I'm sure you guys will see that, or just see it on like my socials as well. But yeah, we're super excited. Okay, so now that I've done my highlighter and contour kind of business, it's now time for blush. Now, I don't know which one to go for. Should I go for like a pinky kind of vibe, or should I go for like the more peachy sort of look? I have no idea. Maybe I'll blend them both into like the most beautiful color, but I'm gonna start off with like the peachy kind of shade. The kind of look I want to go for is this, and I've seen so many flawless makeup looks that are just really inspiring to me. Whether I can recreate it on myself, that's another story. But I'm gonna try, because I really want that like clean but glamorous look. I think it just looks so nice. Okay, that blush is really, really nice. The one I used is from a brand called The Seum, I think. It's a Korean brand. I picked it up on YesStyle, and honestly, it's such a gorgeous color. Okay, that's literally just brought me back to life. I love that. Maybe we just do a little hint of the pink as well. I mean, it's Barbie season, so like, it'd be rude not to, right? Okay, so now moving on to the eyes. I am so just nervous about this look. I really don't know what to do. I mean, I kind of want it to be very like clean but glam. I want it to be neutral. I don't want it to be too heavy because I don't really like that look on myself. So definitely something just like nude, maybe like a nude cut crease. And for this, of course, I'm gonna be using my other product that I released with Revolution. This is the Cozy Vibes palette. I don't know if they even sell this anymore, but it's still one of my favorite colorways ever. I feel like it just has a little bit of everything. It's got the neutral shades, it's got the shimmers, and I'll probably be using this alongside the OG palette, which is the Ride or Die palette. This one also has a really nice colorway, definitely a lot of neutral shades in here. So first up, from the Cozy Vibes palette, I'm gonna take the shade Chill, which is like the perfect nude matte kind of color, and I'm just gonna use that all over the lid to really brighten it up. This shade is actually the perfect shade for like a cut crease. It just really brightens up the eye so much. I'm just gonna repeat the same thing to the other eye as well. I'm now gonna take the shade Knit Sweater, which is like a darker nude color. It's still matte, and I'm gonna start sort of blending that into the outer corners only. We want the transition of the light to dark to be very, very subtle. I'm gonna pull the eyeshadow kind of like upwards into the temple because I really want the eyeshadow look to be very fanned out. I'm now reaching for the Ride or Die palette, and I'm gonna kind of mix the shade Cookie with a tiny bit of the shade Pumpkin because I kind of want that peachiness to sort of like carry through the eye. I definitely want it to be very, very subtle though. I definitely don't want an orange look. I just want like the warmth of the brown with like a hint of a peach shade, if that makes sense. I'm now also gonna blend a little bit of that Inspire shade, which is like this really nice mauvey pink, just to kind of go with that pinky blush as well. It's now time for a little bit of sparkle, I think. So I'm gonna take the Cozy Vibes palette once again, and I think I'm gonna go for the shade Candlelit. It's got like a slight pinkiness to it as well. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna apply that right in the center and then kind of like blend it towards the inner part of my eye. Although I'm not too sure, should I have left it like matte and only add a little sparkle in the inner corner? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I feel like that also could have looked really nice if I literally just applied like a little sparkle in the inner corner but left everything else matte. Oh my gosh, it's such a hard choice. What do I do? I think regardless of what I choose for the lid, I'm definitely gonna do an inner corner highlight. I have to. I am gonna repeat the same thing to the other eye though so that it doesn't look strange. I'm now gonna take a little bit of the shade Marshmallow, which is like a shimmery white champagne kind of color, and I'm just gonna tap that right in the very center of the lid just to add like a little bit of a spotlight effect. I'm now gonna take the shade Snug and I'm just gonna literally blend that right underneath my lower lash line. I'm just deepening up the outer corner with like a dark brown kind of shade, the shade Fog, just to kind of give it a little bit more definition and make it look less flat. It's now time for eyeliner. The one I'm gonna be using is the Double Take liner from Tarte. This one is super black and it's also very long lasting, so I'm just gonna be creating a very subtle wing with this. I don't want my wing to be too crazy, so I've went for something quite like stubby and short. I'm now gonna curl my lashes. I literally feel like I can't skip this step. It just makes such a difference to my lashes. Now the mascara of choice, I feel like this is one of the best mascaras that I've tried in a while, and that's the Maybelline Sky High Mascara. Now I have both the original as well as the black one, and I'm pretty sure the black one is just the waterproof version, but it doesn't actually say on the tube anywhere. So I'm just gonna continue believing it's the waterproof one, which we definitely need on our wedding day. I'm just gonna wiggle that through the lashes, and I think on my wedding day I might even add a couple of like individual single lashes, but I won't bother doing that right now. I definitely don't want strip lashes on my wedding day because they always just ping off in the corners. I can never apply them properly, so I cannot trust myself to do that. Oh, and by the way, I think this goes without saying, but I am going to be doing my actual wedding makeup on my wedding day by myself. Over the last couple of years and all the countless shoots I've done, I've definitely never really found a makeup artist that does my makeup to how I actually want it to look. I'm just very particular with how I do my contour. I'm very particular with how I do my eyeliner, and I feel like you know your face best, so I feel like I'm always just better at doing my own makeup because it always turns out the way I want it. And I feel like on your wedding day, you definitely want to feel and look your best, and you want to be comfortable with your makeup, so it just made sense to do it by myself. I'm also going to apply a little bit of that mascara on my lower lashes as well. So that is my eye makeup all finished. What do you guys think? I feel like it would definitely suit my wedding dress a lot. I think it's very natural but still glam, not too heavy, which is definitely something I really, really love on myself. I mean, who knows? I could always add a little bit of extra like darker shade right in the outer corner there just to kind of deepen it up a bit more. But all in all, I'm actually very, very happy with the color scheme, and I feel like it ties really nicely with the blush. And now the last thing is the lip. I'm sure you guys are wondering what kind of lip I'm gonna go for. Now for my lip liner, I'm gonna be using this one here. It's actually my favorite go-to everyday lip liner. It used to be the Rimmel Cappuccino, but I actually find that's a bit too dark for everyday. So lately I've been using the Peaches and Cream lip liner in the shade Praline. It's perfect for overlining. It's super matte and it lasts all day long. That's the lip liner all done. Now what I'm gonna do as an extra precautionary step is actually set my lip liner with that translucent powder I used all over my face. I feel like lip liner is the first thing to smudge and go, especially if you're doing kissing. So I'm just gonna apply a small layer of that just around my lips just to make sure it's locked into place. And now to complete my bridal look, I'm gonna be using my favorite lipstick ever, and I'm sure you guys know where this is going. I'm gonna be using my lipstick in the shade New York. This is from the Roxy X Revolution Lip Kit Trio. Again, I don't know if it's still being sold. If it is, I'll have all the links in the description, but this is my favorite lipstick. I've literally been using this every day ever since it came out. I don't actually think I use any other lipstick. Genuinely, this is my favorite. And And the tones of this actually goes perfect with this whole look because it's very like peachy pinky. It's also a really good formula for a wedding day because it's not drying. It's kind of like that cream finish. Do you know what? Now that I've applied it, I really love it, but I do think I want a slightly bit more pinkiness. So I'm gonna go in with this lipstick from Topshop. Again, I don't know if they still do this, but this is in the shade Saint, and it's like the perfect nudie pink kind of shade. So I'm literally just gonna tap that over the top to give it that slightly pinky hue. Oh my gosh, how could I forget a touch of highlighter on my cheekbone? I feel like we've already got that glow going, but for photos, I definitely want something a little bit extra. I'm gonna be taking the Charlotte Tilbury Moonlight Glow highlighter. This is what it looks like. It's like the perfect champagne, finely milled kind of highlighter. So I'm gonna take it on a big fan brush, and I'm just gonna apply that right at the top of my cheekbone, just a really light layer. All right, guys, and that is my finished bridal makeup. What do we think? I'm honestly in love. My skin looks really healthy, really glowy. I love the eye makeup. It's so beautiful, very subtle, but brings a lot of attention to the eyes. The blush and the lipstick is perfect. I'm so happy with it. I mean, I might tweak it on the day, but all in all, I'm very, very happy with how everything turned out and how all the products performed. My main thing is that I want it to last all day long and be very like maintenance free. I mean, the only thing I'm hoping to touch up is the lipstick, which obviously will go first. But apart from that, I'm pretty sure everything is going to be quite long lasting. So I'm really happy with it. Let me know what you guys think of this makeup. Do you like it? I hope you guys do. As I said, I'm getting married in just under 2 months, which is honestly so crazy to think. I definitely want to do a load more wedding related content before I do get married, so let me know what kind of content you guys want to see. If you haven't seen the video where I chose my wedding dress, I'll link that in the eye right there. But yeah, I'm super excited to film a bunch more wedding related content, so definitely stay tuned for that. As always, thank you guys so much for watching this video and being here, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye! Mwah.